Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of our March Madness challenge. Today we are going to work on the rollover. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. We're going to come down onto our knees actually to start and start to warm up the arms because we're really going to use the arms as brakes to help us control our rollover. So find a comfortable kneeling position. You have options. Kneeling it doesn't work for you, go ahead and take a seat on a chair or just stand up. That's totally fine too. But if kneeling's okay for you, come down onto your knees. Find whatever position's making sense for you. Hips over knees, ribs over hips, and then arms rest down next to your hips, fingertips long, palms facing backwards towards the wall behind you. Take an inhale to grow tall through your spine. Exhale, push the arms straight back. Just hold that. Imagine you're pushing against an imaginary wall. Really strong, kind of create your own resistance there. Feel the fronts of the shoulders open. We want to be careful not to round forward. We want to find a really good position for what we're going to need on the floor. So we press back, lead a little bit more with the pinky fingers than the thumbs. Wide collarbones, ribs quiet. We want to be careful not to pop those ribs forward. Okay, I've talked enough. Let's do it again. Release those arms. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, press the arms back. Inhale, release. Take that again. Exhale, press back. Good. Inhale, release. And again, exhale, press back. And inhale, release. Good, press back. And release. We're gonna do 2 more. Good. And 1, we'll hold it back there and let's just pulse, kind of like our hundreds. Pulse back for 10, 9, 8, 7, good, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna make our way down to our mat now. Come to laying on your back. Bent knees, feet flat on the mat. Take a moment to check in and find your neutral pelvis and your neutral spine. So there's a little bit of space behind that low back. The back of your rib cage touches the mat. The back of the head is into the mat and your arms can rest down by your sides. Now let's practice that here for just a second. Press your arms actively into the mat without popping your ribs up off the ground. And then just relax it for a second. Take that one more time. Press into the mat and then release. Okay, let's all just relax. That kind of tension in the arms doesn't have to be active anymore. We'll take a nice big inhale, and then on the exhale, I want you to roll your pubic bone towards your belly button, flattening out that low back, scooping the belly. And then on your inhale, rock it away and go ahead and go a little past neutral into a little baby arch of the back. And then exhale to curl, hollowing out the belly. Use that breath, breathe every last bit of air out, and then inhale and rock just a little past neutral. We'll keep moving like this, exhaling to curl and inhaling to tip away. And I want you to really try to keep the ribs still and just make the movement happen from belly button down. That's not always easy, especially if you have some tightness in the fascia and the connective tissue of your back. But we're gonna try. Let's take a couple more. Curl pubic bone to belly button, reach it away. Curl pubic bone to belly button, and reach it away. Now take that same thing again. Exhale, roll pubic bone to belly button. Press through the feet and continue to peel the spine up off of the mat into an articulated bridge. Press down through big toe, pinky toe, center of heel. Inner thighs engaging slightly, pulling those knees straight forward like train tracks. Take a big inhale at the top, pressing your arms down into the mat more actively now, and then exhale and roll down bone by bone. We're really working on warming up that articulation of the spine, that movement and segmental movement there, which will help us in our rollover. Take it again. Pubic bone to belly button. Press down through the feet. Press the pubic bone up to the sky. Arms press into the mat. And then we roll it down. Feel heaviness through the sternum and through the ribs. Feel the belly hollow. Good. We'll take 1 more of those. Roll pubic bone to belly button. Actively press down through those arms, wide collarbones. At the top, make sure you haven't popped your ribs open. Keep those relaxed. Press the back of the skull into the mat here. Feel your throat nice and open. We're going to need this once we're in our rollover. So we don't want to crush the neck and put too much weight on the neck. You want to balance up on those upper shoulder blades and let your throat be really nice and open. You should be able to talk like this, right? So find that. Let's take another big inhale here in this position and then exhale to roll it down, bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time. all the way down. Beautiful. I want you to take your right leg and reach it straight out long on the mat. Again, we're wide through our collarbones, neutral pelvis now, neutral ribs. Right leg is stretched out, and then I want you to just rotate it slightly out to the right. So your knee and your toes point slightly to the right. Not like splayed open, but just a little bit of rotation in that hip socket. From there, on your exhale, you are going to lift the right leg, but I want you to lift it by tipping your pelvis. So that pelvic tilt that we just started with, that pelvic tilt is going to lift the leg up. And then we'll release that back down. This is going to help us lift our legs off the floor to start to initiate our rollover, and then release it back down. So the exhale tips the pubic bone towards the belly button, and the leg comes up with it, and we release it back down. This shouldn't feel like a ton of work in your hip flexor, because we're really recruiting the abdominals to do a lot of the work there to get the foot off the ground. A couple more. Roll to lift. Release back to neutral. 2 more. Roll to lift. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, curl that leg up off the ground. Inhale, release it down. Let's do the other side. So bend your right knee, extend your left leg long on the mat, rotating it slightly out to the left. And then we curl pubic bone to belly button, that leg lifts. And then we release it back down. And I think it's pretty incredible how light your leg feels when you lift the leg with the pelvic tilt. I think it's pretty cool. I hope you think it's cool too. Take it again. Exhale, roll pubic bone to belly button, lift that leg. Release it back down. Let's do 3 more there. Curl pubic bone to belly button. Release it down. Good, we'll do 2 more. And release. 1 more. And release. Awesome. Let's bend that left knee. Both legs are bent now. Right leg can come up to tabletop, left leg can come up to meet it. Go ahead and put your heels together and have the knees just slightly separated, just a little. So we've got just a little bit of that external rotation in the hips. Now on your next exhale, tap your toes down to the mat and then inhale it back up. On these, we're actually keeping the pelvis and the ribs and the spine completely stable. Exhaling down, inhaling up. As you exhale down, I want you to breathe all of your air out and feel a hollowing of the belly, a drawing in and up. Maybe more of a flattening than a hollowing in this position, but you're exhaling, you're narrowing the hip bones towards each other, drawing the belly in and up and in. So we're getting our deepest core muscle turned on. Exhale down, inhaling up. We've got 4 more. Exhale down, inhale up, and 2. Good, 1 more. Come all the way up, come back to parallel knees. And then we're going to do the same thing, but as we bring the knees back up, we're actually going to start to peel the pelvis off the mat a little bit. So you want to keep really starting to activate those arms and press those arms open as we do this. So start to connect that too. As you tap the toes down, inhale this time, and then exhale to come back up. And then release. Let's talk through that again. So we're going to inhale as the legs reach away this time. Sorry, that was a little confusing. Inhale to tap down. And then as we exhale, we roll the pubic bone towards the belly button. Pull the hips slightly off the ground as the knees come into the chest. Release it down. Tap down on the inhale. Exhale, curl and lift your knees. Good. And maybe you go just a tiny little bit off the mat. Maybe you get quite a bit off the mat. It doesn't really matter. It just matters that you're finding those muscles, that you're finding those connections. 2 more. Tap it down. Press into the mat with your arms. Exhale up. 1 more. And exhale up. Awesome. Place both feet down, relax. Let's let the knees sway to the right for just a little stretch, a little break. And then over to the left. Bring it all the way back to center. Let's bring both legs long on the mat, heels together, toes apart. We're going to take our 100 in the classical way where we lift the legs because that helps warm us up for the rollover. If you know you need a different variation though because of any hip injuries or anything like that, please feel free to go into a tabletop position. That's totally fine. Wherever you are, arms come up to the sky. Plug those arms into the shoulder sockets. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Float those legs or keep them in tabletop. And then we start to pump the arms for inhales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, sniffing breaths through the nose. Exhale, percussive breaths out of the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Think about the backs of the arms that we found. Really pump from there. Pump from the backs of the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more sets here. We're breathing into the ribs and the sternum. We're breathing out of the belly. 1 more. And exhale. Let's lower the legs down. Reach the arms overhead and we will go into our roll up. So legs are long on the mat. Heels together, toes slightly apart. Let's squeeze those heels together. Find the inner thigh connection. Nod your chin to your chest. Use your exhale to roll up. Reach forward over those legs. Breathe into the back stretch. And then exhale and roll it down. If you are not having success rolling all the way up and you want to do a little variation, you can always sit up this way and then join for the roll down to get that strength and control work. So roll up if you haven't already. Let's all roll down together. We'll do 2 more of these. So we nod our chin to our chest. We reach forward through those fingertips, widening shoulder blades on the back, belly's pulling back as the sternum's reaching forward and the arms are reaching forward. And then we roll it back down. With control, reach those fingertips forward. 1 more, nod chin to chest. Roll it all the way up. And then slowly roll all the way back down. Make sure your head is on your mat at the bottom of this roll up. And then we're going right into our roll over. So the legs should stay down. Again, if you have a hip injury that makes lifting your legs straight up off the ground hard, you can start in tabletop, extend your legs out, and lift up. So take whichever variation makes the most sense for you. If you can lift your legs up off the ground, we're gonna go straight down. Our arms press into the mat. We'll go through one of these nice and slow, and then we'll pick up the pace a little bit, just in case you've never done a rollover before. We press our arms into the mat. We use our next exhale to curl pubic bone to belly button and lift the legs. Ready? Here we go. Curl and lift. And then start to lift the hips up and off the mat to bring the legs all the way back overhead, but parallel with the ground. So there's no collapsing. We're lifting. We're hugging the belly in and up. Flex at the ankles, energy shooting through the heels. Open your legs shoulder distance apart, and then slowly roll down, bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time. Remember to press the back of the head into the mat, press the arms into the mat to help control the movement. Once your low back hits the mat, your legs will start to lower away from you. They're not going all the way to the ground this time though. You stretch through your toes, you squeeze your legs together. We'll do it again. Use your exhale to bring the legs up and then bring your hips up and overhead. Find that parallel position. Feel your sternum pull away from your chin. Throat nice and open. Flex open. Next exhale rolls you down. We should be inhaling at the top there. We lower. We squeeze the legs together. 1 more like that. Maybe a little quicker. Exhaling up. Inhaling, flex, open, roll it down. Press through those arms. Lengthen through your wrists. And then legs sweep down and together. Now we're going to do the opposite. So I want your legs open. Roll up. At the top, flex the ankles, squeeze your legs together, and then roll down. Sweep the legs down, open them about shoulder distance apart, and roll back up. Flex those ankles, squeeze them together, inhale, and then use your exhale to roll down. Lowering the legs, inhale to sweep. Exhale up, last time. Nice work. Flex those ankles, squeeze the legs together, roll it down. And then we are going to try to slowly lower those legs all the way down onto the mat for that last little bit of work and control. Press your arms into the mat and relax. You did it. You did the rollover. Nice work. Let's come to hands and knees. Let's just finish with a nice cat-cow to do a little bit of arching of the spine. A little oppositional movement here. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. Let's drop the belly towards the mat. Lift the chest, lift the gaze, lift the tail. And then exhale, round your back, press down through the hands, press down through the tops of the feet, round that back. And then lengthen, lift the tail up to the sky, lift the chest. And then round. 1 more, drop the belly, arch the back, feel your shoulders glide down the back as you do that. And then exhale, round. And then let's find neutral and let's finish with a nice little thread the needle because I think you deserve it. So that right leg will go straight back behind you, toes on the mat, left arm goes out to the side, and then you reach the left arm up to the sky to take a big stretch open, a nice rotation of the spine, and then bring it back under. I don't like to do a Pilates workout that doesn't include any rotation of the spine, so we had to include it. Lengthen up, and then down. One more, lengthen it up. And bring it all the way down. Switch to the other side. Lengthen your left leg back, reach your right arm out to the side, sweep it up as you press down through your left hand, and then bring it around and under. Take that again, reaching up and under. One more, reaching up and under. And then we can just come to hands and knees. Open the knees slightly, sit your hips back into a child's pose, drop your forehead onto the mat, and just take a couple breaths. Congratulate yourself for showing up on your mat today. Take another breath. And then go ahead and roll up onto your knees. And you are all set for now. Thank you so much for joining me for day 3. I will see you tomorrow for leg circles.